Yeah, see,
A little hot.
a little hot.
Meow.
So, let me
Yeah.
see here. Oh man, where do we want to go? Oh, so all right. So, some time ago, some years ago,
Uh-huh.
before we knew each other, of course.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Because we've
I,
only known each other 2 years.
contrary to popular belief,
Contrary to popular belief.
I had looked into moving back to Rochester,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I've been here since '94,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd never considered moving outside of one other time. And that was after I visited Tino down in Dallas, and I was like, Dallas is dope. I could do some things down here, like what I'm saying, the money is there,
Mm-hmm.
the land is there, all that stuff. But my parents, we all getting older. My parents getting older. I'm getting older. But, I was like, well, it would be nice to be around them more. You know what I mean? Now, Rochester is not a place that I ever desired moving back to. It's a smaller town. It's a city, but it's smaller. It's just a whole different mentality. And the violence and shit is crazy. Even though I don't think I would attract it, but I looked into it, and so I've had this thing in my mind for a while about spending more time around my parents as they age, and even as, like I said, as I age.
Mm-hmm.
And recently I decided, well, I'm gonna I'm working from home full time now,
Yeah.
so I decided I'm gonna go home and visit my parents and just stay there for a week and just visit with them. So that happened. That was last week, right? Last week.
Yes.
I've been back home for almost a week now, and I went home to Rochester. I took all my stuff with me. I worked from there every day, and I just hung around my parents. I didn't do much. I visited Dex at his house. I went to dinner with my boy Disa. And I went over to my sister's house. And I visited my aunt. That's it. Besides going to my favorite food spots to
Your
get
favorite
food.
foods.
Go get food, come back home. You know what I'm saying? And one, it was monetarily, it was great. Like I was able
You
to
did that.
save a lot of money last
Yeah.
week. You know what I'm saying? And it's just my before I just continue to go into the recap. It's not much to recap, but it is some thoughts that I had while I was there.
Okay.
So what I want to ask you is, and the people, the significance. One thing that jumped out to me is the significance of spending time with family. How do you how do how do you look at that, and is it something that that you think about?
Yes.
Right.
Because my family was very close for a long period of time until certain people passed away.
Yeah.
And it changed the dynamics of my family as a whole. And it really broke everybody apart. Like the closeness that used to be there of us at least seeing each other annually
Dang. Yeah.
kind of changed.
Yeah.
So me being here in this region with my dad being so close,
Yeah.
my dad, my sister, brother, mom, and not really, the time spending, it's changed.
Right.
It's all changed. I only have one living grandparent still alive.
Right.
She's in New York. And with COVID,
She sounds like she's full of personality too.
yeah, and she's full of personality. But because of COVID
Yeah.
and all that stuff, she will not put herself in a situation
No
where
doubt.
she's out traveling, planes, trains, none of that stuff. She's not in a space where she feels comfortable. So it is something. And then I have an aunt who is in Atlanta who is giving me the business because she hasn't seen me. And she's also refusing to travel, also because of her COVID fears.
Right.
So it's hard. It's when you have family getting older, it's very hard.
So you said something there that was brought up when I was in Rochester too, and I think I mentioned it to you. And so I noticed that my cousins and all of my cousins and my aunts and uncles, they don't visit with each other. So no one's been by to see, Uncle Eddie, you know what I'm saying, and Aunt Dee Dee. I'm not there, so but because my parents got two kids, you know what I'm saying, that was in the household and whatnot. So, but they're not seeing each other. And I brought that up. It's like, it's a little alarming in a way. And my sister brought up the fact that, the grandmothers died. My mom's mom died. My dad's mom died. And once in line with what you were saying, once the grandparents died, she said, and it's kind of like disarray.
It's not the same.
It's not the same because they brought everybody. Now, when I thought about it, like especially my grandma Noonie, she brought that was the center. Where her house and just her in general, that was the center. And once she was gone, I think my Nisi might be right about that. My sister Nisi might be right about that. Like it just kind of people just stop. Yeah. And especially in the city, like it's like here, you can have a relative in like Rockville and you live in Woodbridge. Okay, y'all not gonna see each other a whole lot. Like it takes a whole lot, right?
That's my cousin.
There you
He's
go.
in Germantown.
Right.
And he came, last time I seen him was Kennedy's graduation party.
Right. The one that worked at BT and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you get that, but a place like Rochester,
yeah,
it takes 2 seconds to get everywhere. You know what I mean? And y'all not seeing each other, like it's just wild, man. It's just, that dynamic, that whole thing was just crazy to me. And I don't know if it's something that, I need to work at changing, or for me, I already said to myself, and I said to my aunt, I said, you were my favorite aunt growing up, and I just haven't done a good enough job at showing you that, and I'm gonna try to do better. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been making that effort and whatnot. Yeah. That's a personal thing between me and her. And I saw her when I was at home and stuff. So it's just wow to see how everybody's right there and nobody sees each other.
Except for a funeral.
Except for a fucking funeral. Why wait for that?
That's horrible.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You see everybody at the funeral. The last time I saw most of my family on my father's side was my grandfather's funeral in 2008.
Yeah.
Everybody came down. He was the person. My grandmother, not so much. My dad's mom. My grandfather was the mayor.
Straight up
the mayor. When they lived in New York, all the cookouts happened at my grandparents' house at hours of the night that were unruly, but because they had been living there for 40 plus years, everybody knew them in the neighborhood. Cousins on other sides, the neighbors' fences were all interlocked. You could go open a gate and go to the next neighbor behind.
Right.
You could go to the neighbor next door. Everybody, they were all friends. They grew vegetables. They shared vegetables from their backyards. It was a different thing. But my grandparents' house was a center for everyone. People would just stop by there. You would see everybody. When my grandparents moved to Richmond, because then they were living closer to me, I would see them more. But when my grandfather passed in 2008, it changed everything. It changed everything. My grandmother didn't want to stay here anymore.
Yeah, she wanted to go back.
She wanted to go back to New York because her siblings who were still living were there.
She wanted to be, she got to be around. She'll be by herself if she was down there.
Been by herself. We tried to get her to move like with my dad and stuff. She didn't want to do that because she still had her level of she's mobile. She's driving all that kind of stuff.
Word.
But there were more people, more community, more relatives, more love, more everything up there. But then now I don't see her. The last time Grandma was down here was my sister's graduation from high school.
Right. Wow. So that was a while ago then.
A while ago. And that was Kennedy's graduation from the 5th grade. And Kennedy was able to be like, oh, this is my great grandmother.
Wow.
And everybody was like, that's your what? That's your great grandmother? No. Because she looked young as hell. She looks young.
You want to go visit and stuff like that?
I do.
You think she'll let you with COVID and everything?
She will.
Okay.
She said she's not going to church. She's doing, yeah. The last time I talked to her, she's like, she's still not going to church. She ain't trying to be sick.
I mean, you can even like test yourself and stuff before you go and stay isolated and then go up there and see her or something.
I mean,
like that.
I want to see her. My mom is up there, only 20 minutes from her.
Right.
They're cool.
Right.
Like, my mom want to see everybody.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's important, man. That shit is no joke. I really enjoyed this week. You know what I'm saying?
Tell.
I mean, we were away from each other and we wanted to see each other and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed just being there and not just they're like it was a jazz fest going on. I'm like, I ain't going to no jazz fest. Like, I'm chilling. Y'all can go and I'll be here when y'all get back. Like it's cool, man. I just wanted to hang out with them and do nothing. hang out with the dog and shit like that.
But that's great. Sometimes you just need that. And I understood that. And I totally get that. And I felt like when we went for Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
I could see how happy they were.
Yeah.
That you were there.
Yeah.
They were so excited. Your mom was so excited that you were there.
Yeah, she wants to cook and stuff.
She's cooking. Yep, she was cooking stuff. There was so much food. There
my
was
gosh.
so many cakes.
Yep.
I wanted more cake, but I couldn't.
We went crazy.
But we did eat a lot.
We did.
We had a good time, but I could tell, I could tell they were so excited to have their baby home.
So I get there, right? The day that I got there, and I come in. I'm not there for too long. Sunday.
Mm-hmm. It was Father's Day.
Yeah, it was Father's Day, and that's exactly where I'm going with this. Mm-hmm. So my mom comes over to me. I'm in the dining room, and she comes over here and she puts a bag on the table, and then she gives me a card. I'm like, oh wow, I had already told my dad Happy Father's Day, gave him a hug, told him I love him, all that kind of good stuff. He told me the same thing. And then she puts a bag there and she gives me a card. So I'm like, oh, thank you, whatever, right? So, I put the card down. I was in the middle of doing something. I put the card down, and then, we talking, and then I end up going to sit down, whatever, like in the living room or something, just kind of chilling. And she comes over there with the card in the bag and was like, open your gift. And I was like, gift? Like, I didn't know the bag was for me. Right, I knew the card was there and whatnot, and
me shaking my head.
I think I opened a card when I was in there. Mm-hmm. I think I opened a card when I was in the dining room, and then she brought me the bag. I didn't even know the bag was for me. So, because I don't do holidays, she's rolling her eyes. I don't do holidays, and Joe did say this to me when I had this conversation with him. He's like, "You're consistent at least. You don't do and I'm like, I don't do holidays, yo." And so, I open it up and it's a gift. It's like a decanter, whiskey decanter type of thing. Mm-hmm. 2 glasses. It's very nice. Very nice. And my dad had a box on the floor that my sister had gotten for him for Father's Day. Mm-hmm. Right? And now, my dad, he is a person who always says, don't give me anything. Right? But what I realized, I think, is that he actually does want stuff.
Yes.
And it might not just be a gift. You can take him out to dinner. It could be anything, but he does want stuff. So my question was, should I take Father's Day a little bit more seriously?
Hell the fuck yes. I'm so glad we are having this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want y'all to know I am so glad that this is coming up, because trust me, being in this relationship and dialing it back, I've just been like, well, what am I supposed to do?
The holiday thing?
Yeah,
back?
what am I supposed to do? He don't celebrate.
I don't do holidays, yo.
Listen, and I'm just gonna ignore him, and I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do, and he's just gonna have to deal with it. Okay.
And here's the difference between me and my dad. He says he doesn't want anything, and I think he really does.
Yeah.
I say I don't want anything, and if you don't get me anything, I feel
care.
no way about it. But if you do get me something, then I'll, of course I'm grateful and stuff like that and whatnot. But I really I just don't do
Listen, y'all.
Stuff,
I'm gonna tell y'all.
I got you a gift the other day.
Mm-hmm. And I was like,
it's just a day. It's just because I thought it would look good on you.
It was cute too. Let me tell you, it's cute. It's cute. But I was just like, because somebody was like, well, what are you going to do for Father's Day? I was like, he's going home for Father's Day. He's going to go be a gift to his dad for Father's Day. Like, he's going to go spend time with his father for Father's Day. That's funny. And I was really excited about that. I didn't even think
about it that way.
I thought that it was really great that you were going to be home for Father's Day. I know how much you love your dad, and I know how much he loves you. And I thought that it was a really great gift to him that you were going to be home for Father's Day this year.
Yeah, that's, it was a dope thing, but I didn't think of going home. I didn't think of Father's Day at all.
I know you did.
I was just going to spend time with my
parents. I know. Cause I was like, am I going to give him a card for Father's Day? No, because he's going home.
And I felt absolutely no way about it.
And I was so excited that your mom got you the set and stuff. I was like, look at her, taking that care of her baby.
She
boy.
Did.
Yes,
she
your
got
mama.
that for me.
Listen, we all.
I almost felt bad. Like you don't have to do this for me.
It's not about having to. It's honoring you as a dad. You're a great father. It's Father's Day, and and just showing the caring and the thought of thinking of you.
So I did realize this, right? That
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I don't do holidays, and I had no expectations of people showering me with gifts or showing me any kind of. The only thing I want for Father's Day is for Todd to call me
Yeah.
and say Happy Father's Day.
Okay.
That is what if I don't get that,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm pissed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I was hoping Taj was gonna meet you there for Father's Day.
oh yeah, that would have been dope
That would've been
to see him, but ain't enough room in that house for all of us, homie.
Yeah.
So
She's talking about we did.
listen. So, so I realized that I'm projecting my shit onto others, right?
You just realized that?
Listen, man. Yes. Like the fact that I don't do it, I had to recognize that my dad, there's something there, and I should, while I acknowledge him every single Father's Day, I call him, tell him I love him, all that kind of stuff and whatnot. I have to do better at that, because just because I don't care about it that much, I know that he does. I saw that he was like a child opening that gift that my sister got. He already knew what it was. He took the box and Googled where it came from.
Lord have mercy.
And saw what it could be, and knew what it was before he
Googled it before he opened it.
He Googled it before he opened it up and saw what it could be.
What?
And when he was opening it up, he was smiling like an 8-year-old child. And I was like, "That's hilarious."
Yeah.
This is the guy who says, "I don't want
nothing.
Don't give me nothing."
Yeah.
Got it. I got it.
Yeah.
So.